Wait. I want to make
Are we going?
According to, we're live.
We're live. Okay. I always love that when we see the little things say that we're live.
And neither of us is in a place where we normally are.
Where are you right now?
I'm in my new place. I moved, and this is my own little studio room that I'm in the process of setting up that I have not set up yet. I'm in the process of setting up.
It's so exciting. I love a new space and getting to make it your own. And
I have lights like right here. They're like and where are you?
I am in Philadelphia at the convention center. There is a progressive political conference called Netroots Nation, and I am here with my badge and
badge.
Yeah, I got my media badge. And the thing that is so tricky right now, sorry, I'm telling my mom that I'm live because she loves to know when I'm live.
She needs to join the live. I want your mom and my mom to join the live so that
I would love that.
And then we can interview each other's moms.
I think we need to make that happen sooner than later. That would have been a really good Mother's Day. We'll do like a post Mother's Day.
Yes. Or we'll do like next.
We're thinking ahead next year, Mother's Day. But no, so the thing about this conference is so great. There are so many incredible sessions that are all happening kind of simultaneously. And you're looking through the list and you want to go to all of these, but you have to pick and choose where you go and where. So I spent the first half of my morning in a session about fundraising for advocacy. And then I went to the second half of the session of a panel discussion about content creators and advocacy partnerships. And one of our friends was on that panel, Sadia. I love her. So that was the second panel that she's been on here. So a lot of friends, a lot of political nerds. So it's a fun space. But then a lot of non-politically focused conversations. It's just sort of like almost summer campy. But
that's what it reminds me of when I went to speech camp or theater camp when I was in high school, and I got to get together with the people from all over the state, Illinois. It was down at ISU, and we got to be nerds together. But then there's also another conference happening that happened in DC, Trending Up.
Yes.
And they're not competing conferences. They just
Yeah, and I think that they intentionally line them up so that people can go from one to the other. I did not attend Trending Up, but I was there for some of the peripheral events that were happening around it. You and I both met through the Persist Network, and we've never actually really talked about Persist here, I think. Have we?
No.
I don't think so. But Persist did.
Everybody, just so you know, Lauren and I are Persisters.
We are Persisters. So Persist is an organization that started out of the women's engagement for Kamala, and then it turned into almost a catharsis signal chat, which
there's so many cathartic signal chats. I've actually had to silence a lot of my cathartic signal chats. There are too many signal chats.
True, but now in the wake of this administration, we are moving Persist into a space of actual action. So there was an event, the second event that Persist did with Feminist and Emerge. Emerge is an org that gets Democratic women elected and helps with training. So they had an event and I came in for that and then ended up with lots of other little meetings and events and friends, and then hitched a ride to Philly. And now I'm here for this conference. And then I don't think I'll have much of a voice by the time this is done.
I was going to say, like, it feels like something that's definitely for extroverts. Like, I see the photos and I'm like, I don't think I could handle back-to-back conferences like that.
No.
I would have to go high. The DNC took me out. After 3 days of the DNC, I realized I don't think I've eaten I think I skipped drinking water. There were things that I just forget because everything was so crazy. That does not count as water. Are you drinking like a giant coffee Slurpee? What is that?
It's a vanilla cream cold brew.
It's bigger than your head, or is that just the
No,
It is.
we're
Okay. So it's not like a weird angle.
I do have a water, but I have yet to do anything with it, and I haven't eaten food yet. So
I really need like a live footage, like B-roll of you running through this conference with your bag and holding 2 beverages and just like waving at people with your drinks. Well,
well, that's how I ended up here. You just described my exact journey from the session area to this little corner I found where I'm literally sitting on a floor and my computer's on a bench. So
I need people following you. We need cameras following Lauren around everywhere.
I passed my friend Sam Good Trouble was sitting next to the escalators as I was walking up, and to try to say hi to him, I was like, woo, like,
you're like, as you tumble down, you're like, no, we're gonna stay upright.
No, focus on walking.
Well, we know now that there is the title of the episode today is Screwworm, and I'm mad because we could have called it Hungry Screwworm. It feels like a myth.
Really funny.
But have you heard about the Screwworm thing?
Literally just this morning when I was getting this massive coffee, I was talking to another friend who's here, Defiance 13. His name's Robert Arnold. And we were chatting. He goes, do you know what a screwworm is? And I said, I do not. I feel like there's a story here.
Hadn't heard about the Screwworm situation
at all? Because I was looking at the reconciliation updates and...
Which is also important. That's also important.
Yeah.
But will it matter if all the cows die?
Right. So he gave me a little bit of an education, but I feel like we're going to dive into it now here more in real time, where I'm going to learn about exactly how screwy this screwworm
is.
Scenario is.
If we could roll the clip, Josh.
To that screwworm, a dangerous flesh-eating worm attacking livestock. It's been detected in Texas after having been eradicated from the U.S. for decades. Why this could pose a major threat to food production in the U.S. and some ugly, ugly increases in the prices you're paying at the grocery store.
Aren't people already? First of all, it's so I don't want to insult the screwworm because I don't know the screwworm, but it's a little creepy looking. It's a I don't know the size of I don't know if it was to scale, but
it just the heebie-jeebies. I've got the.
It has fangs. It's a thing with fangs that is, and not since the 60s. We haven't had screwworm in the United States since the 60s. And then you have this administration who said oh, everything's going to be fine. And now all the cows are going to have worms, apparently.
I guess that's what happens when you get rid of federal regulations and oversight, and we're all gonna. I can't.
You're all vegans now, America.
Yeah. Could we do pescatarian? Are the fish still safe?
Probably not. I don't know. I'm assuming that this fish probably is going to have mercury or some sort of whatever they're going to be spraying in the wildlands. I'm sure we're not going to be able to eat fish either. I mean, I will because I'm in Portugal. We got great fish here. We're fine. But
what you're saying is, I need to come to Portugal.
Yes, obviously. You can come and hang out in the studio.
Perfect.
There's a lightsaber for you too. But also the MAHA moms. Where are they at on the screwworm thing?
Wait. Actually, I have a question about that. And I don't know if anybody is commenting, but I would love to know, the MAHA moms love beef tallow, love beef tallow. How does screwworm impact tallow? They love that. I wonder, you're seeing beef tallow in
of the day. And I also
skincare.
Can you tell beef tallows for skin? You're supposed to rub.
No. Well, they're putting it everywhere. It's in skincare. It's in they're using it to cook with things. I don't.
Oh, this is instead of the seed oils. Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do these moms have so much time?
I know. I'm very curious to see. So I'm just gonna pop over to Instagram and see if there are any comments rolling in about beef tallow, but I just wonder.
Let us know. It's going to affect. I think once a cow has I'm not a scientist, not a food scientist, not any kind of scientist, but I'm assuming once a cow has a screwworm in it, one screwworm, two screwworm, I don't even know how many. Can you say that 5 times fast? Screwworm. I think the cow just, you can't use the cow for anything. I think it's just, that's it.
I mean, that would be my preference. But who knows what sort of debauchery is going to go down with how this gets regulated if it does. But they die, right? Don't the cows die?
Do the cow? I'm good. I'm actually just going to look this up now. Does screwworm kill cows? See, this is what you have to look up now in Trump's America. Like, that's insane to me that I didn't know what a screwworm was until just this past week. So, oh God, they burrow into living tissue, causing severe, often fatal damage. Just gross.
Oh my God.
The New World screwworm. And I'm like shocked that MAGA is not turning this into like an invasion from the southern border. Like, we put up the fence, the wall, but the screwworms got through. And now we need, I don't know, a ballroom or something. Like Trump's just going to be like, this is why we need a ballroom. We need to put the cows in the ballroom.
I mean, everything seems to justify the ballroom, and they did get the money for it. Like they did, he got his slush fund.
Oh, that passed last night. Is this the?
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
that's just.
Well, and I also saw that the UFC fighting ring might be a permanent structure like the Eiffel Tower.
Shut your mouth.
I cannot make this shit up. You just
That's
can't.
The trashiest. It is. They're gonna make people fight to the death, like the tribute, like when it's very Hunger Games.
It is. It's Hunger Games meets like. So, all right, not knocking parts of southern Indiana and Illinois and central Indiana and Illinois where I hail from.
So many caveats here, so many premises.
Not knocking those spaces. Oh, yeah, there it is. Not knocking these spaces, but when like meth starts to take over a neighborhood and you can tell that like that's a meth family, that's a meth house, like that's like it's just that's what's happening right now in Washington D.C. That's the White House. Like we're gonna keep this trashy structure, and it's a meth house.
Not the White House. It's now the Meth House. We have so many potential titles for this episode. Welcome to the Meth House. It's the methadone. Like I don't like what it.
Really, I mean, like if you grew up in these small town rural areas, like you know what I'm talking about. Like you can visually tell. And we went from Jackie O and like the Rose Garden. We went from Michelle Obama and like growing vegetables and wanting people to be healthy and like let's move to we're gonna like the Thunderdome on the front lawn with like half of the White House in tatters.
And people will say that's what they voted for. This is what we wanted. And meanwhile, and there was a UFC wrestler, I can't remember his name, who actually spoke up about this. He's like he's an economics major and talked about the government should not be spending money on these things. 100% what they should be spending money on is the funding to prevent things like screwworm from making its way into the U.S., which I think we have something there to show about that. Because I guess I did Doge.
Doge. You forget about Doge.
I forgot about Doge.
Oh, highly dangerous maggot that eats living flesh off pets, livestock, and humans has been discovered in Texas. Last year, Trump ousted thousands of key staff from the office dedicated to preventing the spread of dangerous pests. Pests feels like not a strong enough word.
Well, as I say, he's a pest. And like they're
pest is a mosquito.
Right? Not something that's going to decimate the like entire cow population of the United States, sending beef prices even higher than they already are. Like,
I mean,
I thought farmers voted for this man.
Farmers are already, and they're struggling. They're hurting because all of these policies, like soybeans, are not coming back. And I had a really fascinating conversation with a man on my flight over from Chicago. And
sounds scary. Okay.
Yes. And he was one of those guys that like rolls in super nice and he's like, "Hey, seat partner." And
no. I'm like, headphones on immediately.
I know.
Immediately.
And we were both flying into DC. What are you there for? What are you? And like kind of tiptoeing around, but like I clocked him. Like I knew not progressive.
Yeah.
Not
MAGA
like
coded.
this guy's
very MAGA coded.
For sure. But then he surprised me because so like he is definitely MAGA coded. He was talking about some stuff that was for sure in that world, like ivermectin. But then he started talking about Chicago politicians and Illinois politicians, and our lieutenant governor, Julianna Stratton, just won the primary for the Senate seat. She's going after Durbin's Senate seat. And so she will likely win because of the way that Illinois politics works and how blue it is. And I was part of volunteering to uplift her campaign. And I mentioned that, and he goes, "I love Julianna Stratton. Thank you so much for supporting her campaign. She's wonderful. Now she is what real leadership looks like. We need more people like Julianna Stratton in politics."
I don't trust it. I don't trust it for a minute. I'm so suspicious. I'm like, really, sir? Prove it. I'm like, show me your phone gallery. I want to see your Facebook account right now.
I wanted to be like, so you're telling me that when you like boil it down issue by issue, maybe there might be a chance? You're telling me there's a chance.
You're telling me there's a chance. Dumb and Dumber, bringing it back. Well, you know, you'd like to think that they are starting to recognize that these policies that Trump has put in place aren't helping them in the slightest. He just gave an interview. We have the clip. Let's roll it because he doesn't seem to get it.
If you take away just the price of gasoline, the energy, we have very little inflation. We're doing very well other than this.
Other than this.
Other than this. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? I mean,
like you can't just subtract the thing, the most important thing, like the most important variable, and then okay, I mean, unless people are walking everywhere, unless everyone's scooting everywhere, unless food is being taken around on trucks that are being run by Flintstone legs, like
what?
You know, in the Flintstones, they don't have wheels, or engines. Remember, they just run with their little feet.
Yeah, exactly. I do. Yes, that's where we're headed.
Take us back to the Stone Age.
Is that when America was great?
Probably. I mean, in their mind, yes. When you could like bang a woman over the head and like drag her by her hair. I think so. I think that is exactly where they want to go with this. Unfortunately, they're making it pretty clear. But look at us.
So I apologize for like the aggressive, inappropriate laughter that is happening on my end of the spectrum this entire time. I feel like it's all so ridiculous. Like I know it's very serious and it's horrifying, but it's like, what is happening?
No, honestly, like this week for me, because I think what I was moving and I'm just like at my wit's end. I'm like, this guy is insane. Like this is insane. He put a fucking stadium on the White House South Lawn. Like that is insanity. And the fact that we're even remotely entertaining it, and that like I'm ready for military coup. You know what I mean? Like I'm ready for the sane people with the tanks to just drag this entire administration out. But unfortunately, in this bill where he's giving 50% more to the military budget, Timothy Snyder's like, they're doing this to keep him up. Like they're just never going to give up.
Yes. Timothy Snyder, shout out.
But when he says it, it's like, oh, like he's a pretty sane man.
He's pragmatic. I think that's where I get a little bit worried when people who are really pragmatic feel alarmed. Like my therapist is very, very pragmatic and very, I'll tell her something super horrifying and traumatic that happened. And then I'll say, and this is what I think I'm going to do next. And she'll say, okay, I need you to slow it down. Let's slow it down. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. And then I slow things down, and she just doesn't freak out. But when I come to her with something and she's like, okay, now you need to do this, and like, this is crazy, and I think we've reached this point, then I know like to take it seriously. And Timothy Snyder, he's like the nation's barometer of,
I thought you were going to say he's the nation's therapist.
I almost did that, but like, I feel like the nation's therapist, that would be somebody different. Who would that be? I feel like we go back in history for the nation's therapist.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I was going to say it was Oprah for white women for quite some time.
yeah, but now I feel like we can't trust her.
No, I've never
No.
trusted her. I have a poem actually about how Oprah is a carrot, like, on the end of the stick, trying to get us to chase in a healthy way. Like, oh,
I would love to hear this poem.
It's a very short. It's the 5 stages of grieving Oprah. Yeah,
I think that we're going to need to do a moment on that. The 5 stages of grieving Oprah.
We're turning this into poetry readings, guys.
I love it.
The poetry. We'll send you the link. You can come in. We could do like slam poetry.
I love it. There was somebody yesterday at one of the sessions who said that it was a art as resistance session, lessons from Minneapolis, and he said that he wanted to do a poetry open mic night as part of Netroots. I think that would have been a great idea. They didn't take him up on it, but I think I would have been really into something like that.
I think shut the poets down. Like, what?
I know. I think because most of these like after hours are very like schmoozy, elbow rubby, like what's the I'm ordering lemonades and trying to stay hydrated, because if I do anything more than one glass of Prosecco, my joints are not, like I am not meant for walking all day long and then also having alcohol in my system. Like and not enough water.
Heels, right? Are you in heels?
Not today. I am not in heels today. I did do heels one of the nights, and it was the worst choice I have made. Fashion. I did it for fashion, and I hated myself for at least 48 hours afterwards.
Yeah, I stopped doing anything for fashion. At the DNC, I had like 5 different pairs of sneakers, and that was I just like rotated. Ever since Kamala wore Converse, I think on the cover of Vogue, I was like, yes, thank you for liberating our feet. If anything, Madam Vice
Chucks are
President.
available. I am currently in a pair of Rothys. I love Rothys.
Wait, I don't know what these are. I feel so left out.
Okay, all right. Do we want to see my shoe?
Yeah. But not your feet, unless
no, I took the shoe
charging.
out. We're a shoe out.
Okay.
Yeah, unless we're charging. Maybe that's how I'm monetizing.
We're monetizing with our feet. I have incredibly short toes.
Yeah. I think I have like pretty normal feet. But these are my Rothys that I love, and they're washable. They're made out of recycled materials, and this little slingback is great, but I love it because I usually, when it's like 90 something degrees here, so I would want to be in a sandal because my feet get hot. But this is breathable and they're washable, and I love them so much. But then I have multiple other types of Rothys, but these are the ones I brought with me today, and they don't have a ton of arch support, but they're great.
Oh, that's my dad would be like, you can't wear those. As a child, I was not allowed to wear any shoes that did not have arch support, and I hated him for it. I also wasn't allowed to wear penny loafers that weren't, he wouldn't let me wear shoes that weren't leather, which I understand that now as an adult. But as a kid, I was like, I want these jelly shoes, for example. I don't know if you remember the jelly shoes.
How can I forget the jelly shoes? That's a core millennial memory.
I wasn't allowed to wear them. And because
I'm
of
so
that,
sad for little Maya.
Oh, I'm still like, I need to go to therapy for that specifically.
Jelly shoes are having a comeback. They're having a fashion moment right now in this moment. Yes. So I think you get your jelly shoes and then get some jelly shoes.
Dad, like,
yeah, they have like a little bit of a different profile now, and they come in like neutrals And
Oh, I'm getting fluorescent ones for sure.
yeah, I had like an iridescent. I had an iridescent pair, like a purple iridescent that I loved. Maybe we should both get jelly shoes this summer.
I think we should, and I think this would be far cheaper than the Hungry Caterpillar $20,000 purse. I could probably get like at least 10,000 pair of jelly shoes for that same price.
I brought that up last night at one of these networking events, and when people looked it up, they were very disappointed that the bag itself wasn't the shape of the caterpillar. Like,
No,
they missed
the
they
designers
missed an
screwed up on that.
opportunity.
Yeah, huge missed opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. So maybe in that case, it might be more convincing to spend that. No, I have no, who am I kidding? I'm talking about like selling pictures of my feet just to cover my airfare to get to these conferences.
Okay, everyone, we need to know how many pictures of Lauren's feet do you think she would have to sell to be able to get the Hungry Caterpillar late edition, because they're going to have to make one shaped like the actual caterpillar. I love that we're covering the
We're
important
all
things.
over the place.
We are.
I love it so much.
But no, we covered Screwworm. We covered the.
Do we want to touch back on farmers, like for like a quick moment?
Oh yeah,
because
let's go
I
back
think
to farmers.
yeah. So with the farmers, this this fellow that I sat next to on the plane, he is a part of an agriculture lobby and was coming out to do some work. And so we were just talking about how hurt farmers in the middle of Illinois, in Iowa, like they are really, really struggling because of these Trump policies. So it's interesting to see that they have voted for someone who is actively inflicting harm on them. And he was going out to lobby against Trump's policies. So what is this one?
Okay, so it says that out of 13 farmers across 11 voted for Trump, and they largely still support him, hoping, quote unquote, to God, as one put it, that he follows through on his promises by the end of his term. This is some wishful thinking and an inability to see patterns. Like that's zero pattern recognition on behalf of on the part of those farmers.
Yeah.
This guy in the plane, did he seem like he understood why they're hurting?
I think he did understand, but I think that he was starting to process that the promises that were made are not going to come to fruition. It's like an abusive relationship when your abuser is saying like, but I'm not going to do it again. It was just that one time. Like that, this isn't, I promise I'll do better next time. Like I think talking to him, it felt to me a little bit like talking to someone who's coming to the realization that this person that you thought might care for you actually doesn't. And so that was interesting. And also it's kind of heartbreaking to see that in real time, but also this is what they voted for. And like, not like do what you will, not in a fuck you kind of way, but in a like, it's just
cause and
sad.
effect sort of way,
Yeah.
a consequences sort of way. And you just hit on something that made me remember what helped me get out of an abusive relationship. It was somebody saying to me, "You're not stuck here." And it just kind of woke up my brain. And I was like, because what happens when you're in an abusive situation is it becomes your only reality. It's the only thing that's real. Everything that exists outside of that abuse has disappeared, whether it's friendships, just your life perspective. And it was hearing that from somebody who I respected and cared about saying, "You're not stuck here," that made me go, wait a second. If I got in this situation, I can get out of this situation, right? So it gave me also enough autonomy that I had this belief that I could get out. And so I wonder if for some of these people, they just need to hear those words. Like, you're not stuck. You're not, because if you like even using to further the language, and we've talked about him being a malignant narcissist and an abuser before, and Lindy, Dr. Bandy Lee, that's her name, Dr. Bandy Lee, authored a book with a bunch of other psychiatrists talking about his narcissism, but the love bombing, like Trump is the ultimate love bomber of his followers, of his people. And so he spent years campaigning and love bombing them, telling them everything that he was going to do for them. And so, of course, they're going to believe that yes, because he told me.
I've never thought of it as love bombing. Holy shit. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. And they're in love, whatever that, I guess, platonic love. They're fans of him. They're obsessed.
Is it almost Stockholm syndrome, I wonder, where you fall in love with your abuser?
Well, in their mind, though, he wasn't the abuser. It was this is the man that I've been waiting for. This is the man my pastor told me I've been waiting for. This is exactly what we need to get us away from that, the America that elected a black man of all people. This is the man who's going to save me and us. And so they put everything into that because he's so convincing and he's so charming in the way that they need him to be charming. And they bought it hook, line, and sinker. And now that he's moved on to his billionaires, now that he's clearly doesn't have a care for them whatsoever, they're useless to him now that they put him back in office. They serve no purpose. And so once it's the narcissist. What is it?
It's the discard phase of the narcissistic cycle. I mean, when I was in an abusive relationship, I didn't realize I was in an abusive relationship until years later. Like he was the way that abuse works when you're in it, you don't actually realize what you're in until afterwards, and you can look back and you can understand. And it took somebody reflecting to me the story that I told. I explained the circumstances. I explained what my experience was. And in that, it was a catharsis sharing with a roommate in college. And I was telling her all of this, and to see the look on her face and see how horrified she was. And that was when I finally started to rethink, like when you tell somebody else how what your experience is, and you're saying it like it's normal, because it is normal to you, but you see in someone else's reflection of that story to you that it is not normal and was deeply harmful. So I wonder how much of this, sorry, I have to switch positions because we're sitting on the floor here.
Are you on the floor?
I'm on the floor.
I love that. I feel so bad now being on a chair. I too can get on the floor.
I was sitting in a one position, but then I stopped being able to feel my legs.
We want you to be able to feel your legs. They're attached to your feet, and that's part of our monetization strategy. So please keep those feet going. I love how we're like, narcissistic abuse.
Well, DARVO too.
I think it's informative, right? Yeah. To look at it that way, because so many people look at it as a cult, the cult of Trump, when it really, I think it might be more effective in the long run as far as getting people out of it, to look at it as a relationship. It's a relationship they have with him that is not healthy. And if we can casually point out or ask them questions, how has he helped you? Like, actually tell me, like, I'd love to know. Count the weight.
Absolutely. Well, I think I've been saying from the beginning that, so I was really triggered by him in the first campaign in 2016. I started having panic attacks, and because his behaviors reminded me of my abusive relationship. And I don't want to call that person a narcissist. They haven't been diagnosed as that, but a lot of similarities. And so it was very triggering for me to even watch him campaign. So that has been my my thought process. I see DARVO. Do people know what DARVO is?
Can you explain that for everyone?
Yeah. So DARVO is something that happens in abusive relationships. So it's deny. So that's the first step. And that's what an abuser will do. They say, I didn't do that thing. And then they will attack. They will attack the victim verbally, sometimes physically, but they will say, no, you did that thing. The thing that you're accusing me of doing, the thing that I didn't do that. You did that. So that's reverse victim offender. So they flip it. So they start to take on the mantra of as though they are the victim and they are the ones being abused, when in fact they were the abuser the entire time. So DARVO is so I'm seeing a lot of that in Trump, in the way that he operates. And even just MAGA in general, if you say, like, if they will be so aggressive toward laws that harm people of color, trans people, immigrants, they will actively be harming people's lives and ending people's lives. And then they will act when we say, nope, that's a line. I'm not going to engage in a relationship with you if those are viewpoints that you have. Then they are now the victim, because we have a boundary. But for them, they say, like, fuck you libs. Like, you judge me. Like, how?
Well, yeah, like as if the boundary is the problem. And it's like, no, there's the reason I had to put up that boundary. And I think when we end up, that's how we kind of like in this spiral, kind of in the conversation that we were having last week, which is like, how do you have a productive conversation with people who don't follow the rules, who don't follow the golden rule just does not exist. And there's just this constant hypocrisy. It makes it very difficult to play a game if nobody can agree. Imagine playing a board game. Imagine playing Monopoly. God. Playing by completely different sets of rules. Like even like when you're playing card game, like, I don't know if you've ever played spades before. I don't know how many black friends you have. Okay, see. All right then. Yes. You have to agree on, Joker's wild. You got to agree on like what's wild before you start. If you can't agree, the game can't start, right? And so, or it's going to go awry because somebody's going to do something that they're playing by one set of rules. And so I think anybody can logically understand how things deteriorate if there's not that agreement. And I thought we had an agreement as a country, which is the freaking Constitution. And so, right?
I mean, and it's ironic that the Constitution is being ripped to shreds by people who claim to be constitutional. Like, this is their thing. They're like, yeah, the Constitution, like the founders. But when you actually look at the founders and the words in the Constitution, and it's just so juxtaposed to what they're actually doing. And they want, to reduce spending, and they're fiscally conservative, and the people who call themselves socially liberal but fiscally conservative are some of my least favorite people in the world, and I know many of them in real life. But what kind of fiscal conservatism is it to push through a slush fund through that reconciliation bill? But also, what kind of money have we spent on bullshit projects like tearing down the part of the White House so that he can build his ballroom? He wants to build this arch now. What the fuck has he done to the reflecting pool? And now he's comparing it to the size of buildings. And we've got this UFC fighter ring that has been developed. And as an event professional, I can tell you that shit's not cheap. And they've killed all of the grass underneath. Like, as an event professional, that grass is going to need to be completely replaced because it has all been killed now from that platform that they have put in place. So, which maybe that's why he's saying it'll be a permanent structure, because
they realize
you just fucked up the grass.
There. Yeah. Either that or like they're going to stiff the people who put it there. And so they're going to refuse to come back and take it away. Like, there's going to be, or they're just going to decide to just start having regular concerts or like monthly.
I was hoping.
What if UFC?
It would be like a cage match, like a Marjorie Taylor Greene versus Lauren Boebert. Like,
I mean, at this point, I would not be shocked. If you remember, Mark, I almost said Mark Wahlberg, Mark Zuckerberg, and who was he? They were training for you. They were going to have a fight. They were going to have a physical, actual fight. And then I think it was him and then Elon Musk. I can't remember. Do you remember this? Like, and so
I do.
and
but like in my head, they're just like, boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. Actually, I would love to see billionaires fight to the death. Let's do it. Like, absolutely.
I would play that Hunger Game.
Yeah,
Sure.
I would. I think that's a perfect place to wrap on that high note.
I love it. I love that. Amazing.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your conference. Say hi to everybody.
I will say hi to the people. And then next week we will be back at our regular, and we're about to start doing it a little more frequently, a little more daily.
Yes.
A little more. So we're going to ease that in, and everybody's just going to see our faces all the time.
All the time. Our happy, smiling faces as we're America, you got this, is what I'm going to say.
We got this.
We got this.
We got this.
We're going to be fine.
Everything's fine.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Stay hydrated.
Yes. Most important part.